Before we get into today's show, I just want to say thank you to all 11,000 people that have subscribed and hit that big red button. We hit the milestone yesterday on video number 2, and I just want to say hats off and thank you to everybody that subscribed. And we're not stopping. We're going to continue to put out videos every single day on the latest Knicks news and rumors. So if that's something you're looking for, go down right now and hit that big red button. The show goes on, baby. We're not effing leaving. Is Mark Jackson in love with the New York Knicks signing Jalen Brunson? Sounds like he is. We're going to break that down in today's show. But first, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Mint Mobile, a cell phone provider that'll help you save a bunch of money. They have plans with unlimited talk, unlimited text for as low as $15 per month. All you got to do, go to mintmobile.com/chatsports. I'll put the link to that in the comments and description of today's show. And in today's show, Mark Jackson said the New York Knicks signing Jalen Brunson was a home run in NBA free agency. And if you've been watching the show, you know that I've been the leader of the Jalen Brunson hive. I believe he's an elite player, and I believe him coming to the New York Knicks, getting away from the shadows of Luka Doncic, will only raise his game and production. This was the full quote that Mark Jackson had to say about Brunson. He said, Brunson is a winner. He's a culture changer. He's a guy that competes on a nightly basis and is a true professional and a class act. I think it was a home run signing for the Knicks and a step forward. They got better over the course of the offseason. He went on to say, it's tough to be a kid of a professional athlete and the demand and the expectations that's put on you, and he has not disappointed. He carries it the right way. He's been a winner since he's been born. And I echo the same sentiments. He is a winner. Jalen Brunson has it. I don't know what the hell it is, but he has that it factor that you want in an athlete. Everywhere he's been, he's won. Whether it's in college, being the second best player on the Dallas Mavericks that went to the Western Conference Finals, Jalen Brunson has it. And I want Knicks fans to show him love because he was once a Knicks fan. He bleeds orange and blue. His dad played for the Knicks, and he grew up all around with the New York Knicks. There he is, rocking a Latrell Sprewell jersey. There he is, rocking some Knicks gear. He said his favorite players growing up were Latrell Sprewell and Allen Houston. He said meeting Allen Houston was an awesome experience. And I think it's time for us, for someone that chose the New York Knicks in free agency, grew up a Knicks fan, to show him the love he deserves. And just the mindset, the attitude, the inner dog that Jalen Brunson has, it gets me fired up. And this quote that he had at his introductory press conference, or whatever the hell you want to call it, I don't care, it got me going. It got me ready to run through a wall. This is what he said. He said, everywhere I've gone since high school has started for me, it's always been, Jalen Brunson's good, but it's always that but. They're going to say something negative about it. Wherever I've gone, you hear that in the first couple of years, and then all of a sudden, Jalen's this, he's great, he's this, he's this. Then I go to college, same thing. Jalen's good, but, and this, and this, and this. They said I was too slow, not athletic enough, too small. All the things that don't measure heart, and that's what I have. I have goosebumps just reading that. This dude is built to play in New York. He was raised in the city. He bleeds blue and orange. He knows what it takes, being the son of a professional athlete that played for the Knicks, to play in the mecca of basketball. He's ready for the challenge. He's ready to be the target of all Knicks fans thinking that he got paid too much or whatever happened. But Jalen Brunson is going to answer the bell because he did that in high school. He did that in college. He did it in the NBA as a second-round pick, and now he's inking a $100 million deal. He has the mindset to be great, and sometimes that's more important than the skills. And trust me, he's got the skills. We'll take a look at some stats in a second. But I want everyone to just show Jalen Brunson some love, because I feel like, we kind of just glossed over the fact that the Knicks signed a point guard, something we haven't had a legit point guard since 2004 in Stephon Marbury. So I want you to type 11 in the comments section right now. Let's welcome Jalen Brunson to the city. Welcome into being a Knick. Type 11 in the comments section to show JB some love. We told you guys about Mint Mobile off the top of the show, but let's tell you why you should switch over and save yourself a bunch of money. They have plans starting as low as $15 per month. that have unlimited talk and text and high-speed data on the nation's largest 5G network, and they also will hook you up with a mobile hotspot. My favorite part about Mint Mobile is it's easy to transition. You get to keep the same phone. You get to keep the same phone number, and you can switch over from the comfortability of your house. You don't got to go to the store and deal with the weird guy at the register. You can switch over from your house in as little as 15 minutes. Get started today, mintmobile.com/chatsports. Everyone's trying to save a buck. Do it by switching over to Mint Mobile. Jalen Brunson is a winner. It's something that's in him. He is him. Call him Himothy. He wins everywhere he goes, whether it was in college or Villanova, 2 national championships, and then the Dallas Mavericks, where he led them to the Western Conference Finals and almost beat the Golden State Warriors. And a lot of people are like, but we paid way too much for him. We overpaid. He's not worth that. BS. Jalen Brunson, in 2024 and 2025, Jalen Brunson will be one of the best and most valuable contracts in the NBA. The value you're going to get for him for $24.9 million in 3 seasons, when the salary cap goes to the moon and jumps from $130 million to $170 million in the summer of 2025, no one is going to be talking about Jalen Brunson being overpaid. They're going to be talking about him being underpaid. Jalen Brunson is being slept on. It's kind of pissing me off as a Knicks fan. We got a lot of Dallas Mavericks fans in the office here at Chat Sports, and I have to hear them talk about how he wasn't that big of a piece to the Mavs and how the Mavs won't miss him and they'll be able to replace him with Spencer Dinwiddie and Tim Hardaway Jr. And that's cap, my friend. Let's go look and run through some Jalen Brunson stats, because I feel like we're not appreciating what he is as a player, and that might just be because we want to go out and get Donovan Mitchell. As a starter this year, or just in the NBA in the 2022 season, he played in 79 games and averaged 16 points per game, 5 assists, one of the most efficient small guards in the NBA, 50% from the field and 37% from downtown. But he didn't start every single game of the season. He started the season coming off the bench, but he started 61 games this season for the Mavs and averaged 17.5 points per game, 5 assists, remained the same efficient player he was, 50% from the field and almost 39% from 3. That's while being the sidekick to Luka Doncic. Then he got to the playoffs and knew he had to take his game to another level, because he's a prime-time player. And big-time players play their best in big-time games, and that's what Jalen Brunson is. In 18 playoff games this past season, 21.5 points per game, almost 4 assists, and stayed efficient. 46.6% from the floor and 34.7% from 3. What about in round 1 of the Western Conference playoffs, when Luka Doncic didn't play in Game 1, Game 2, or Game 3? Mavs fans were shitting themselves. They thought the season was over. And Jalen Brunson said, hold up, homie. No Luka, no problem. He dropped a 40-point ball. He dropped a 30-point ball. And in those 3 games without Luka, he averaged 30 points per game, 5 assists, and was as efficient without Luka Doncic. 48% from the field and 41% from 3. Jalen Brunson in Game 2 against the Utah Jazz without Luka put up 41 points, 8 of rebounds, and 5 assists in a win over the Jazz in round 1. The last time a New York Knick dropped 40-plus points on the way to a win in the playoffs was Carmelo Anthony back in 2012, and prior to that, it was Patrick frickin' Ewing in 1990. Let's stop acting like these Jalen Brunsons just grow on trees, or the New York Knicks haven't been in point guard hell since 2004. We are acting like we're a spoiled franchise that has just had the opportunity to play or watch a bunch of elite point guards play. That's not the problem. Let's go back and take a look at the starting point guards on opening night dating back for a very long time. 2021, Kemba Walker, didn't work out. Elfrid Payton, he couldn't shoot. Alonzo Trier probably shouldn't have been in the NBA. He was a fun player and had some skill, but he can't even touch Jalen Brunson. Trey Burke back in 2018 wasn't really a good player. Ramon Sessions, we signed him 4 years too late. Derrick Rose still hadn't reinvented himself in 2016. Jose Calderon was trash. Shane Larkin didn't work out. I love myself some Pablo Prigioni, but he's not a starting point guard on any competitive team in the NBA. In 2012, it was Raymond Felton, round 2. Tony frickin' Douglas in 2011, Raymond Felton in 2010 when he was good with Mike D'Antoni, and then Chris Duhon in 2009. Can we please stop acting like the New York Knicks are a team that come from a great storied history of point guards? Because they don't. But let's embrace someone that is great and is going to play point guard for the New York Knicks, and that's Jalen Brunson. But I want to ask this question because a lot of people always say, Jalen Brunson, he's not a needle mover. He's not really going to change the fortune of the New York Knicks, and I call bullshit on that, but I want to hear your take. Are the Knicks a playoff team with Jalen Brunson? Type P for playoffs, or you can type L for the lottery. To end today's show, I just want to talk about RJ Barrett and year 4 of Star J, Broadway Barrett. Can RJ take another jump in his young NBA career and be an all-star in the 2022 NBA season? Let's look at what he's done so far through his NBA career. As a rookie, 14 points per game, 2.6 assists, 40% from the field, and 32% from three. Then he took that huge jump in 2020. 17.5 points per game, 3 assists, and the efficiency was at an all-time high, 44% from the field and 40% from three. I don't know if he's a 40% three-point shooter for the career, but I'd like to see him at about 36 to 37%. In 2021, the season didn't start off too well for RJ. He finished up averaging 20 points per game, 3 assists, and 40% from the field. But in the final 42 games of the season, we got to see the RJ Barrett that we want him to be. He balled out, 23.6 points per game, 3.5 assists, 41% from the field, and 34% from three. I think those efficiency numbers need to get a little bit better, but we got to see through the second half of the season the type of player that RJ Barrett can be. Remind you, he's just 22, and he's not a finished product. He needs to continue to get better, and this is where he needs to do so. Finishing at the basket. He's one of the worst finishers, according to statistics in the NBA when it comes to finishing around the basket, but he also has one of the highest volumes in the restricted area with the left hand and the right hand. I just want to see him be more of an efficient player and kind of develop that floater, the mid-range driving shot, where it's not a layup and it's not a pull-up jumper, the in-betweener, kind of like the floater that Emmanuel quickly has. I think he needs to become a better ball handler for when the game slows down and you get in those clutch situations where the energy and the pressure rises. He needs to be able to take over the game, slow the team down, and manage the game. Won't have to do that as much with Jalen Brunson, but that will still be something I want to see him improve. He's got to get better about passing out of drives. I love the mentality he has, the RJ Barrett versus the world mentality, but sometimes when you can kick it out to the short corner to a wide open Fournier, that's better than an RJ Barrett contested layup, and he has to get better at free throw shooting. He doesn't have to be elite, but if he can get anywhere from 77 to 85%, he would up his point total and be a much better basketball player. I want to ask this, though, to end today's show. Will RJ Barrett be an all-star this year? I think that's the goal he's shooting for, and I think it's realistic, but I want to hear from you. Type Y for yes, or you can go down and type N for no. I don't know if RJ Barrett will be an all-star, but I know he's going to do everything he can, and I know that is a goal of his entering year 4. I can't wait to see RJ play in year 4. It's going to be awesome. I just love seeing that dude play basketball. I love that he loves being a Knick. It just hit home. It hits home, and we are lucky to have him. I appreciate everybody that's made today's show a part of their day. If you made it this far, you can hit a real one roll call, and also hit me up on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_.